for the news highlights. Hello, Zaret.
Hello, Patience and Suleiman. Good morning, Nigerians, and welcome to the AM News. In response to the continued misuse of the Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day and Armed Forces Remembrance Day, the Defense Headquarters has urged journalists and citizens to adopt Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day in all future coverage. A statement by the Director of Defense Information, Major General Sumaila Uba, says January 15th is set aside by the federal government to honor the living personnel of the armed forces of Nigeria while acknowledging the sacrifices of those who paid the supreme price to safeguard the nation's territorial integrity, as well as the lives and properties of its citizens. Previously known as Armed Forces Remembrance Day, the name was officially changed to Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day to reflect the dual essence of the occasion in honoring the living while also acknowledging the fallen heroes. The Defense Headquarters appreciates media unwavering support in the fight against insecurity and looks forward to even stronger collaboration ahead. And the National Industrial Court Abuja Division has restrained all members and agents of the National Association of Resident Doctors from calling, directing, organizing, participating in, and embarking upon any form of industrial action. Justice Emmanuel Danjuma Subilim gave the order in an interim injunction filed by the federal government through the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Ministry of Justice. The court temporarily barred members of the association from embarking on any form of strike, work stoppages, go-slows, picketing, or any other form of industrial protest or disruption. The association is equally restrained from taking steps preparatory to any form of industrial action from the 12th day of January 2026. The interim order remains in force pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice fixed for the January 21st, 2026. The association had earlier threatened to commence strike on Monday, January 12, 2026. Now, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, has sanctioned senior ministry officials over delays and alleged misconduct in the execution of the Maraba-Kefi Expressway project, ordering the immediate removal of a controller of works. The minister took the decision during an inspection tour of the ongoing expansion of the 43-kilometer Maraba-Kefi corridor. The report.
The ongoing expansion work on the Abuja-Kefi Expressway started in December last year. Already 41 kilometers of the 43.6 kilometers of the road from Kefi have been completed. While inspecting the ongoing expansion of the Maraba-Kefi corridor, Minister of Works David Umahi expressed dissatisfaction with the pace of work. He attributed the persistent lapses not only to the contractor but also to negligence by officials of the Ministry of Works assigned to supervise the project.
We escalate that disobedience to PAM Secretary, to the Minister, to the head of the department. The controller has not done that, and for that, I'm directing the PAM Secretary to remove the controller, effective from today, and pushed him to my office to go and learn how to obey instructions.
He also ordered the immediate removal of hand-modeled curbs along the road, directing that concreting of median road should commence without further delay, alongside the installation of solar-powered street lights across the entire stretch. Reading the Riot Act to ministry staff, Umahi declared 2026 as an action year, warning that indiscipline and negligence would no longer be tolerated. He instructed the company handling the road project to submit a detailed work timetable and a written commitment confirming its readiness to meet the February deadline. The minister urged ministry staff and contractors to discharge their duties responsibly in the interest of Nigerians, adding that sanctions would be imposed on erring officers.
And the federal government has unveiled a comprehensive policy framework that prioritizes the use of standardized, durable textbooks designed to last between 4 and 6 years. while expressly prohibiting the bundling of disposal workbooks with textbooks in schools, which intends to ensure the reuse of learning materials across multiple academic sessions. Now, in a statement by the Director of Press and Public Relations, Folashade Boriowo, a uniform academic calendar has also been introduced to promote consistency in teaching, learning and school planning across the country, which responds to long-standing concerns over frequent but cosmetic textbook provisions, weak ranking standards and practices that compel parents to purchase new textbooks annually without corresponding improvements in content or learning outcomes. In addition to government's resolve to safeguard educational standards and reduce costs for parents, graduation ceremonies have been streamlined, allowing only pupils and students completing Primary 6, Junior Secondary School 3 and Senior Secondary School 3 to hold graduation ceremonies. Now, the federal government has launched a new rural development program that integrates housing, agriculture, infrastructure, and guaranteed market access, aimed at enabling rural households to earn sustainable incomes while owning homes and productive land. Now, this was at the agreement signing between the federal government and Niger State government for the pilot phase of the project. Neka Oko reports.
With the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, the Partnership for the Sustainable Integrated Productive Communities Initiative pilot rollout in Niger State is now official. This marks the beginning of an innovative program where farmers will receive land and decent homes and pay for them gradually using their farm produce instead of cash. For the Minister of State Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka-Nite, the project goes beyond simple housing provision. It is designed as a complete settlement framework for farmers.
This project promotes job security by creating stable, long-term employment across agriculture, agro-processing, renewable energy, logistics, and community services. The house housing and settlement project will stimulate broad-based economic activity. It will create jobs for engineers, builders, artisans, suppliers, and service providers. It will also support local industries such as cement, steel, agro-processing, and transportation.
So, Honorable Minister, Niger State is bringing forward to you 100,000 hectares of land for this project. So this will address issue of shelter, issue of security of lives and property, issue of food security, and also sustainable livelihood.
On the housing side, we also want houses that are affordable, that are decent. The fact that they're in those communities doesn't mean that we'll compromise on the quality. The houses have to be decent, they have to have reliable source of energy.
The Sustainable Integrated Productive Communities is a program that integrates housing, agriculture, infrastructure, and guaranteed market access aimed at enabling rural households to earn sustainable incomes while owning homes and productive lands. The program is expected to be replicated in other states of the Federation if the pilot phase proves successful. In Abuja, Neka Oko, NTA News.
In line with the consumer-focused objectives, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) and the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) have drawn up a framework to address consumer complaints arising from unsuccessful airtime and data transactions during network downtimes, system glitches, or human input errors, where subscribers were debited without receiving value and experienced delays in resolution. A statement by Head Public Affairs Nigerian Communications Commission, Nenna Ukoha, the framework represents a unified position by both the telecommunications and financial sectors on addressing such complaints. It identifies and tackles the root causes of failed airtime and data transactions, including instances where bank accounts are debited without successful delivery of services. Under the new framework, The purchaser is entitled to a refund within 30 seconds, except in circumstances where the transaction remains pending, of which the refund can take up to 24 hours. And that's it on the AM News. We'll be joined Suleiman and Patience right after this break. Stay tuned.